Alright, let's dive into something that's been bubbling under the surface but deserves way more attention: how global politics, specifically Donald Trump's actions, are shaking up industries you might not even realize, like the UK's construction sector. Sounds unrelated? Stick with me, because this is where things get fascinating. Here's the hook: did you know that Trump's geopolitical moves, from tariffs to the Iran conflict, are directly derailing Britain's building plans? It's not just about international headlines, it's about cranes standing still, projects on hold, and an economy that's way more fragile than it looks. Personally, I think this is one of those stories where the domino effect is so clear, and so overlooked. What starts as a political decision in Washington ends up freezing construction sites in London or Manchester. Crazy, right? Now, let's zoom out for a second. The UK's economy is weirdly property-obsessed. I mean, it's almost like the country's entire financial pulse is tied to bricks and mortar. From mortgages to consumer spending, property isn't just an industry, it's a national mindset. What many people don't realize is that when construction slows down, it's not just builders who feel the pinch. It's the financial sector, local councils, even your neighbor who was planning to sell their house. This isn't just about buildings, it's about confidence, and Trump's unpredictability is killing it. Take the latest data from Glenigan, a UK industry analyst. They reported a 33% drop in new project value in just 3 months. That's massive. And it's not just small stuff, major projects over £100 million are taking the biggest hit. In my opinion, this is where Trump's impact becomes undeniable. His tariffs, his Middle East policies, his general chaos, they're creating this global instability that's seeping into local decisions. Developers are sitting on their hands, not because they don't want to build, but because they can't predict what's coming next. It's like trying to plan a picnic during a thunderstorm. What makes this really interesting is how it exposes the UK's vulnerabilities. The country runs a current account deficit, which it balances by selling assets. Guess what? Mostly property. So when the property market stalls, it's not just a sector problem, it's a national balance sheet problem. And here's where it gets even more complicated: developers are using this instability to push back against public requirements. Affordable housing quotas? They're arguing those need to go. Public amenities? Too expensive. It's like the crisis is giving them leverage to reshape the market in their favor. From my perspective, this raises a deeper question: why is the UK so reliant on private developers for something as critical as housing? It's not just about building homes, it's about building communities. The Dutch have a system where councils commission projects directly, cutting out the middleman. If they can do it, why can't the UK? Personally, I think this crisis is a wake-up call. With Trump's policies likely to continue causing chaos, the UK needs to rethink its approach, fast. Here's the thing: Trump's not going anywhere for a while, and neither is the instability he creates. If the UK keeps leaving house building to the private sector, it's not just missing targets, it's missing the point. We're talking about homes, workspaces, entire neighborhoods. This isn't just an economic issue, it's a social one. What this really suggests is that the UK needs to take back control, not just from global forces, but from its own flawed system. So, here's my closing thought: if you take a step back and think about it, this isn't just a story about Trump or construction. It's about how interconnected our world is, and how vulnerable we are when those connections are weaponized. The UK's building plans are just one piece of the puzzle, but they're a big one. What do you think? Is this a moment for the UK to rethink its priorities, or is it just another chapter in the chaos? Let me know in the comments. I'm genuinely curious to hear your take.